Hello, guys. Good morning.
Morning, morning. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty tired to be honest after the weekend. You
Yeah,
know, it was my first time when I was able to go out. So within last 3 weeks, I was one time outside, but I got tired afterwards.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, mate. Oh man, yeah, I had a bit of a late one last night, so I was pretty tired
yeah. I
after.
saw that you were putting videos very late,
Yeah,
in like really in the night.
yeah, man. I was pretty tired. Right. Just wait for a few more people to join over in the YouTube, and then we'll start breaking down. But we can already see that GJ's starting to show some more bearish signs already.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of waiting involved. Oh
Don't fall asleep, hey!
no, no,
Don't
no,
fall asleep.
no! I haven't even had a drink yet. So when we get set up, do a little bit of breakdown. I can go get a drink, and then that will yeah,
Oh, shit. Sorry.
no worries.
Oh, give me a second. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
sure,
mute for a second.
sure, sure. Morning. Welcome everybody in the YouTube. Oh, can't see the screen, no, on the YouTube. Oh no, where's that gone? Oh, good. Hang on, let me. Where the hell is that gone? Okay, bear with me. I think it must have deleted my. I didn't even realize that. I'm such a donut. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. I'll. Why is it? Oh. Oh no! Why is it doing that? Where the hell is my screen gone? Oh, great. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know why it's doing this, but for some reason. Hey, there we go. Okay. If you just bear with me a minute. Yeah, not sure what happened there, I must say. Okay. Um, Right. Okay, you should be able to see it now. Morning. Right, usually it lets me put... Okay, I'll have to sort that out later. For the minute, let's... Yeah, for the minute, left to stay as it is. I don't know why it didn't let me share my screen, but... Anyway. Okay, so anyway, let's break down GJ here real quick. Before we wait for this candle to close. So let's start off with the daily time frame here. So looking at the daily on GDP JPY, what we can see is the current daily did create some form of top wick. Obviously we had that gap down. We had a lot of negative news over the weekend, fundamentally, things like that. So potentially, you know, this daily candle, it really can come down and fill this wick at 134,400 potentially. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour is also bearish, but once it breaks this minor support, at that point, you know, it can continue down to this next 4-hour support, fill this wick. We also have this resistance right over here. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, so 1 hour has this resistance right over here at 135 360, and then we have this support at 135.040. Looking on the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute has this previous support area from market open and the Asian session. We also have this resistance, our most recent resistance at 135 350, you know, somewhere around this area. So right now we want to see some form of minor resistance formed below 135.050 for price to continue moving down to 134.780 as, you know, like a first target. So if we measure this range is around 25 pips, so that's pretty good range to take a sell. If we look on the 15-minute candle's got like 2 minutes left to close. You know, we do have potential like impulsive entry maybe, but of course it does all depend. Yeah, it does all depend kind of how this candle closes, things like that. So we've got a minute left. I think if this 15-minute candle closes bearish, you know, maybe the next one's going to continue moving down. Could be a good idea to, you know, take a sell, keeping the stop loss above the two previous 15-minute candles, expecting the overall 30-minute to continue down. But I would want to see this 15-minute candle close, you know, bearish. If it closes bullish, then, you know, there's the potential if the next candle breaks the low, because it would be creating a minor support below this area. If the next one breaks that low, much higher probability, you know, for price to continue down. But I mean, I think if this 15-minute closes fairly strong bearish, then, you know, I could potentially execute a sell position. But we're going to see how it closes in 35 seconds. So yeah, if it closes pretty strong like this, you know, we can expect the overall 30-minute time frame to continue down. So we've got like 10-15 seconds here. So it looks like it's closing pretty strong. So I think there's a good chance for, you know, the next candle to continue down. So looking to take a sell. Okay, so executed sell position. I know it's a Monday, but you know, expecting this 30-minute overall to continue down at this point. So keeping stop loss above the current 30-minute, which is also above the two previous 15-minute candles. So, you know, if price is going to continue down, it's going to respect these lows, and then it should, you know, break this low and then start to continue. So, yeah, just straight off the bat there, first trade of the week should be good. Hopefully can continue down. You know, because the overall 30-minute now is trying to close below. It's broken the low of this previous 30-minute, so hopefully can continue down. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour's got like 15 minutes left to close, so we'll see if it can do so. But obviously we're just going to manage the risk as the trade plays out. You know, we really can't control what happens, but we can control the risk, as we all know. So I think the first TP is going to be good, down at 134.780, and then as like a secondary TP, looking on the 30-minute time frame, I'm going to see if I can try and let a one lot swing down to, you know, 134.400, that area that we spoke about yesterday, or today really, even with the daily wick fill. So we can see the 15-minute has now created some form of top wick, is coming down, so hopefully can continue moving down. Will be pretty good. Yeah, so I'm going to close maybe like a 2-lot position. Around 10 pips, and then see if we can let something run here. You know, yeah, hopefully we can get to 134.400. I think we should continue down at this point. You know, but if price does come up, start to retrace to form some resistance, then, you know, like, it is what it is at that point. Yeah. So while we're in this GJ trade right now, let's check out Euro JPY. Let's do some fresh analysis here on Euro JPY quickly. So looking at the daily similar to GJ, it's trying to close below this area here. So it did close below before the weekend, and now this candle over here now is coming up to do some form of retest. So if we go to the 4 hour time frame, and again we look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour tried to create a resistance. I think GJ is moving a fair bit. Oh, it's kind of moving a fair bit. It's pushing down and pulling back and doing all sorts. But okay, yeah, let's just wait to see maybe how this 11 minutes. Yeah, we'll check out EJ in a minute. There's no rush. I just know what I'm like. It will I'll be too fixated on the GJ. So yeah, let's just see if this can continue down, and then we will break down other pairs. If we just quickly look at the FTSE though, the FTSE isn't really doing much. It is just kind of ranging. It corrected this move down from last night as well. So maybe there isn't that movement with the FTSE, but I think I still think GJ can continue down, you know. I think he's struggling at this area right now, but we'll see. Because, you know, the 30 minutes still open. The 30 minutes should continue down. Probably fill this wick over here. There we go. Common GJ. So GJ starting to push at this point. So hopefully, oh, look at that retrace. Yeah, really playing around now, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see. Because obviously we got to wait for candle to close. Candle hasn't printed. Morning, Wilson. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's just carry on with Euro JPY. So if we go to the 4-hour time frame on Euro JPY, what we can see from the 4-hour is that there was a fake out of this previous support. So 4-hour created previous support around London Open. Candle came up. Next candle came right back down below this range. But then it also respected this support right over here. So, we can see the 4-hour is just kind of ranging right now. Looking at the 1-hour time frame. Again, if we just clear everything for the 1-hour perspective, we can see that this support down over here has been respected multiple times at 121.730. At the same time as well, what we can see is the 1-hour candle, it broke above this resistance. So this was the analysis kind of from the Asian session, that we have this clean candle coming up to this previous area. So it looks like it's already starting to push to play out. Looking at the 30-minute then, yeah, so it's created a support above this zone. Pretty hard to catch considering, this was a big candle. Maybe entries would have to been off the 15-minute, but then it kind of broke the low to drive up. So pretty difficult. But I think EJ should continue up to 122, 150. And then if it can, create a support above that area, then we have a clean candle to the left-hand side. Further coming up to 122, 300. So, yeah, EJ, I thought was going to see more sells. But, it can come up to drive down later on in the day. So, obviously, we have to take that into consideration. Looking at GJ now, 30 minutes still open. It's got like 7 minutes left to close. Looking at the 15 minute is kind of, struggling over here. But it's still printing in our direction currently. So no cause for any alarm or, no cause to reduce the risk. Thoughts on gold? Gold, I'm not going to touch gold, because of how volatile this week is. But let's check out gold here then quickly. So, looking at gold, daily is currently bullish. Current candle is bullish. But, what I would say is we had this strong, heavy bearish move before the weekend. So, it just depends whether we're going to continue that and maybe break this area. Or is it the case of, we're going to correct some of this move. So, if we go to the 4-hour time frame on gold, yeah, gold is a no-no this week. If we go to the 4-hour on gold, gold has created a support over here, but it also has a resistance at around 1888 based off the 4-hour time frame. I think GJ is moving over here. Yeah, we'll come back to gold because obviously, we're in a sell right now. Oh, go on, GJ. Yeah, so GJ's moving finally. So hopefully should continue down. We'll continue with gold. Don't worry. The Amen. We will continue with gold. But I would 100% advise on staying away from gold this week. If I was, that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll see. So yeah, GJ's pushing over here now, which is pretty good. Coming up to the last 5-minute candle. So hopefully we can get a nice extra squeeze of this 15 minutes. The last 15 minute of the hour, last 15 minute of the 30 minute. So hopefully can continue down. and we can secure some profits. Yeah, see, the 30-minute should come down to at least 124.850 at this point. But then if it wants to continue, you know, it should continue down to 134.790. But she is coming down. It's pretty good. So for a Monday, still pretty good. Okay, GJ's still going. Still going. So not quite ready to secure yet. Tapped into this minor support. Well, we still got a few more minutes, so we'll see. Not secured anything yet. Didn't get to 10 pips. But while candles, you know, still print in our direction, there's no need to, you know, raise alarm. So hopefully should continue down. Even if it closes as is, I mean, we may see a pullback on the next candle, the next 30-minute. But, you know, we can still hold the sell because the sell is going to be valid, you know, to continue down to 134.780 as long as this 30-minute candle closes like a strong bearish. Then the next one should, you know, continue further down. I think this one's going to leave a wick for hopefully the next candle to fill that. But it did come down. It is retracing. It is a bit annoying. But, I mean, if it comes back to my entry point, you know, right to my entry at this point, you know, I'm going to close 50% of the position. Otherwise, I want to try and let this position run while it's still open.
Say this 15 closes as it is, yeah, would you take some more off as it breaks the high? If it breaks the high.
Over here? I think if it closes as is, what I would say is if it breaks the high at that point, I'd close 50% because it could just come up to create a top wick and then drop because the candle printed in our direction. So as long as it's respecting this high, then, you know, I think it can continue down. But I'm just gonna wait and see. Oh, thank you, whoever that was who subscribed. I'm just gonna wait to see you know, how this 15-minute candle closes, because it kind of came right down to this support when we look to the left, tapped into it. So we'll see if it, you know, the next one can fill this range at the moment. I think it should continue down, you know. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, we got Will, hey mate, link doesn't seem to let me join. Oh, oh yeah, sorry mate, I've been fixated on this screen. He's in now. Will's in. One lot is $10 pip on GJ, right? Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Yeah, so anyway, I think the good point here is it's a Monday, and when you start to see a candle going in your direction, you know, all you have to sit back and think is candles printing in my direction. You know, I can manage the trade at this point, so I don't take, you know, a big loss or something like that. You know, you can look at it that it's in your direction. You're not sitting in drawdown, so you're in a position of control. You know, you can close a certain percent if it comes back to your break even or whatever. You know, so I mean, right now it's retracing quite a bit, but we'll see where it closes. Yeah, any gains on a Monday. Yeah, I suppose any gains is good. But I do want to try and secure everything at like 10 pips is going to be better. Well, not everything, but secure, you know, most positions at around 10 pips. So hopefully this 15 can close a healthy 15-minute. And then, okay, cool. So the 15-minute candle closed bearish. If you look at the 30 minute also closed bearish below this area. So I think the next one should continue moving down at this point. And then, yeah, what we will do is, what I will do is, if the candle breaks the high of this 15 minute, then I'll probably close like a very big portion of the trade. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting price to continue down, hopefully break this wick, and then we can secure something over there. So I'm up around 6-7 pips really. But yeah, I want to be able to secure proper around 10 pips, and then we're gonna have a good day here today. So yeah, the 15 minute is starting to drop, fill this wick, which is pretty good. So hopefully it can just break this and then continue down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring stop loss kind of above this candle at this point, you know. So if it does really break the high, I'm probably just gonna exit the full position at that point. There would be no need to take that full loss. So yeah, let's see where we can go. So I've still got this 2-lot position. Hopefully when yeah, I want to be able to secure majority of the position around 10 pips. That's the aim. Yeah, I think this 30 minutes should just continue down at this point. I don't see it having any reason to kind of come back, break above its own high, or break above this high. Oh, look at that. Literally came right to this level again. So it's coming back up to entry point. Yeah, so at this point, I think yeah, I mean, it's still respecting the high, but if it's not gonna flip, look at the 5 minute. It looks like it's rejected this area currently. Yeah, so I think at this point I'm gonna close 50% of the position. Oh, it's come up and broke the high now actually. Yeah, so I'm gonna close. I've closed 50%, and then if it comes back up again above this area, I'm just gonna close the full position with, you know, like a small loss.
I'm out in this now. I think I've closed.
Yeah.
I've closed half at like break even.
Yeah, I'm out of the sell right now. I got out. I'm gonna wait for like a minor resistance to be formed, and then hopefully if we get like a minor resistance, if it does do a retracement and it forms a resistance below 135.040, then, you know, I'll take a second entry. But right now it's broken this high, and, you know, it could be pulling back to do like a retracement. So it looks like it came right down to this wick area, starting to reject. So yeah, I closed out actually in a little bit of a loss. It was like maybe 3 pips, but it's okay. But yeah, I'd rather close everything over here than now, you know, at this point it could come all the way back up, sit in drawdown. So yeah, I'm gonna wait, because if we get another 15-minute candle close back in our direction, you know, there's a much higher chance price is gonna continue down, and then we can give our traders second chance. So while we're waiting for that to happen, we were talking about Euro JPY. Let's finish gold. So looking at gold on the 4-hour time frame. Did anybody secure anything there? Because I know I didn't get to 10 pips.
I was up about 8, I think.
Was you? Yeah, same as me, really, about 8.
Yeah.
I probably could have
Like, when it
secured
broke the-
something, but I mean,
When it broke the low, though, I expected it just to carry on down.
yeah, that's the same as me at that point. So it is retracing quite a bit. So I think it's okay. Like, we can wait for some resistance to form, you know, and then we can take a second trade. Yeah, I closed everything once it broke this high, you know, because it did already come down to fill the wick, so it had no real business coming up and breaking this high. And right now, I'll be sitting in drawdown, so glad I got out of that. So yeah, when we go back to gold, we was at the 1-hour time frame. If we go to gold on the 1-hour time frame, we have this support being created above this resistance right now at 1884. We do have this resistance here also on the 1-hour time frame, and then once we break this resistance, you know, we have some clean candles to the left hand side. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, yeah, looks at the 30-minute did like a fake out over here for gold to continue bullish, and then yeah, we can see if gold will continue further up from there. But yeah, it looks like GJ 30 minutes retracing this whole candle. So I think we're going to need to see a 15-minute close back in our direction to take a sell. Yeah, I wanted to secure like 10 pips. It was around 8, and yeah, just pulled back. So yeah, I think I secured like, what I did was is I closed 50% at the entry point, and then I closed the other 50% as it came up and broke the high. So it was like a couple of pips lost, but it's nothing major. It's like £70, which is like three pips for me. So not too bad for first trade of the day. But I mean, I think realistically, you know, it did come right into profit, so you know, yeah, it is what it is at that point. Let's look at the FTSE, see if it's doing. FTSE's actually bullish at the moment, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. Yeah, so I think while I'm waiting for this resistance to be formed on GJ, I'm going to go make a drink. Yeah, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna put some music on for you guys. Oh, well, music play or not? Oh, look at this retracement, man. Yeah, anybody still in sells, I think, you know, you're gonna have to be very cautious. I didn't execute a sell because of the level at 135 that seemed to reject the price. Would you have considered it? Well, I mean, 135, we broke below that support. We broke below that 135 level, 135.050. We broke below that support. You know, candles came down. I think this is just one of those ones where it's doing a retracement, and then we need to just wait for some form of resistance to form for price to continue down, you know. But if it does like a fake out, I mean, yeah, if it does a fake out, we have a 30 pip range, but at that point I'd want to wait for a support to form, you know. So right now there's no buys, no sells, just waiting. Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that it's had to result in a closure of the trade, but yeah, If you took that trade again, would you move stop loss to BE? I don't know. I mean, it was just the way that once it came down over here, I suppose at that point, you know, I had no business breaking this high, which is why I closed everything here, which wasn't quite break even. But I think if I had it at break even, it would have got stopped out. Obviously, no loss. But at the same time, the fact that it broke the high was the point. Is like, okay, that's the point to get out, because if it respected the high, it could have flipped back bearish and then continued down. So that's why I was worried about that. But you know, it moved in our direction. It could have continued down. Once it broke the high, it closed everything. So yeah, I think that's a good way of managing it still. Yeah, so I'll be back in a minute, guys. I'm just gonna wait over here to see what happens. So I'll be back. Okay, so GJ 15 minute kind of closed at this area. So yeah, I think I think some form of resistance is going to be good. Or looks like it doesn't going to do that. Looks like it's not going to do that. Sorry, it's the right way of saying it. But yeah, I think a nice rejection here would be good, but maybe not going to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. We've still got some time left. You know, we'll be going till our normal time today, around 11:30. As I know, other parts of the world now are back in sync. But yeah, hopefully we can get a second trade. If not, then we just have to call it a day with, you know, the small loss, and we just have to learn. You know, you just have to learn from it. So I think the moral was to maybe secure something down over here. Clearly was an important area. And then yeah, it is what it is, you know. But it does
Evening,
look...
boys. Just sorry, mate.
Go on, mate. Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I apologise. No, I'm just gonna ask a quick question, mate. I unfortunately wasn't at the charts on the open because my fucking Wi-Fi died
Yeah.
on me. Looking back now, would the break of that 15 minutes before London, because you saw how it broke the high of it because there was no wick and it fell to keep going up.
Oh,
when it broke the low of that. So sorry, mate. Try to go back from Zoom. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Would that have been a decent sell? Planning to retest the low?
Yeah, I would have thought so, because if we look, it made a lower high to this point. You know, this candle had no wick to the top. This candle comes straight down. Yeah, I probably would have taken a sell there, because we have these clean candles back down to support. You know, and then you can say, okay, well, I'll secure something like down over here because it's around like 10 pips, and then let the rest run. Yeah, I would say so. I would say that would have been a good sell, because if you look at the 30 minute, it failed to break above this area. So I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. But don't worry, Will, the chart that you sent me, I'm gonna straight after the stream, if you want to stay on the Zoom, we'll go through it for 5 minutes.
Cheers, mate. No rush, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Don't stress about it.
Yeah, no worries. Just
Thanks,
last night, everything got a bit. I had quite a bit too.
No,
too crap
don't
on
stress, mate. All good.
No worries. Yeah. So just a bit more waiting involved over here now. So looking at the FTSE is bullish as well. This makes me wonder, is GJ going to maybe correct this move? See, I'm expecting more bearish momentum this week, but I mean, it may not even come into play yet, you know, so we'll see. We have to just focus on what we see, you know. But once I started seeing, you know, candles break below support, I was like, okay, now we're gonna start to see this sell-off. But it looks like it's not gonna happen right now. Okay, Kevin, we've got a chart over here. Let's check this out. Let me change this tune. That just sounded weird. Okay. Oh, what is this? Sterlina. Oh, this is GDP JPY. Okay. So 30-minute close below support. Okay. Waited for liquidity wick. Okay. Entry on the candle flip. Take profit at 1 hour support plus 12 pips. Nice. Okay. Didn't execute because of 135. Oh, you didn't execute. Didn't execute because of 135. That was support and resistance since 8 today, 8 a.m., 30-minute close above. Is this level too old in your opinion? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about this. This is old information. Yeah, I'll be worried about this area. So your most recent support, which is what you clearly, you identify very well. And as you look left, you just see these clean candles. So all you need to think about is maybe down at this wick we're gonna incur some issues, which we did. Down over here we might incur some issues. So yeah, this you don't need to know what happened over here. That is old information. So yeah, it looks like no sells on GJ right now. If we look at the 30-minute, I mean, look, if this 30-minute closes with like no wick to the top or something like that, then the only way I'd take a sell is if we get a 30-minute close back below this area, because this could be, yeah, I mean, this is pretty mad. This is sometimes, I suppose, where it's maybe a sign that today is not a good day to be trading. Okay, I don't know what this tune is either. Sounds like Mario Kart. Okay, let's check out Euro JPY. So Euro JPY is just continuing bullish, very slow. That moved. I think the entry was pretty difficult. Gold. Yeah, I'm staying the hell away from gold this week. GCAD. So GCAD's bearish. That must mean CAD is pretty strong. I think, yeah. Yeah, the only way I'd take a buy is if we get a support formed back above this area. That's the only way I would take a buy. But I mean, right now we can still create some resistance and then continue down. But we'll see. We will see. So anyway, remember guys, at 1K we're going to be doing a Magic Keys giveaway, so make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't think there's no trade right now on GJ at all. So we just had UK manufacturing data. Check that out. Yeah, it's a bit confusing because everything I'm reading, like, I use investing.com and for like news and things like that sometimes, and all the articles here are also negative. They're also negative about the pound. We've got one here that says British mid-cap slip as Johnson locks down England. More debt, shrinking GDP, impact of England's lockdown. So, and probably Primark saw loss of 375 million. Ooh, it's not going to be happy. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens over here. So yeah, one trade here today so far. Put this up. Trades. Yeah, I think the only way that I would look for a buy is, you know, if we form some form of support. I'm done for the day. 2 trades. Okay. If you're off, see you later, foe. Yeah, I mean, I think this candle may be like a pullback candle. I don't know. You know, it could be anything. It could be well, it obviously it's done a fake out, but I mean, you know, whether it was just one of those one-off candles and then we're going to start to continue with that trend, I don't know yet. We need that confirmation. So,
I think I only take a re-entry now on like a 30-minute close.
yeah,
It's a Monday, and like just due to that first trade not playing out, I don't think it'd be a good idea.
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no rush to take a second trade. I would still be happy to call it a day with, you know, the small loss, because I know I can come back tomorrow, and you know, we still got tomorrow, we still got Wednesday, and we can take some nice trades. So I'm not focusing on that too much. I mean, ideally, like, what I think is going to be good is if we now get a close back below this area, it's going to be better, because I don't want to take a sell over here, because people might be like, oh, it's forming that resistance, but we have this level over here where we could form a support and then continue up, because we did do like a fake out. So like right now, I think there's no buys, there's no sells. And some of these tunes really are irritating. So yeah, I think if people are looking for buys, some support formed above 135.050 probably going to be good. Yeah, so it looks like the 15 minutes coming down. So it's pretty key, you know, where this candle closes, things like that.
Quick question, mate.
Yeah, go on.
Even though we broke through that level and then came straight back up,
Yeah.
does that still? Would you still keep that level? Yep. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Still keep the level in mind. Yep.
yeah, because it was our previous support, and then obviously at this point now, we've closed back up in the range. So for a buy, you know, I always look at it like this. Like you see over here, we had a support candle came down, next candle closed back above, and then we had this support formed above this area. That's the kind of like setup that I would look for to say, okay, we've done a fake out, you know, we're closing back above, we're forming a support. So I would say a support above this area is going to be good for price to continue up. But I would say for sells, like, you know, you'd want some form of candle to close back below this area. But even if the 15 closes, you know, below this area, that's still a weak confirmation, and I personally wouldn't want to take a sell based on that. I'd probably want to wait for the 30-minute to close back below, and then kind of expect this minor support to break with volume. Because the last thing I want to do is get caught out with one bearish candle on the 15. But yeah, definitely be aware of this zone. 100%. Right, I'm just gonna put myself on mute for like 5 seconds. Oh, 30 seconds. I just got to eat this sandwich. 2 seconds. So I reckon that, because I just saw that this push could have been because there was some positive PMI data from the UK. So that maybe could have been. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was positive news. I know it says 10 a.m. but it's because that's actually supposed to be 9:30. It obviously hasn't synced back in. Yeah, so it looks like the 15-minute is reacting to this area. I think a support formed is going to be good for GJ to continue up, but we'll see. Yeah, that's the only way I'd take a trade, is if I get a bullish candle close in my direction, because then I'm going to be much more confident about taking an opposite trade to my original sell. Okay, let's see, Euro JPY rejecting this area. Gold is trying to continue bullish. Okay, so the 15-minute candle closed bearish. It closed a weak bearish candle. It tapped into 135.50. It rejected 135.50. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Definitely no sells. I don't think there's a sell right now. There's no buys right now either, because, you know, previous candle closed against, so still waiting involved. Also, I think those of you looking for buys on the break of the high, I think that's a little bit risky, you know, because then we have this little minor area. If it does, you know, run in line with this candle, that's pretty good. But I think you're going to want to see the candle close back in your direction. I think that's going to be a little bit too aggressive, but it could play out. FTSE still pushing bullish. Reached this next resistance where it's rejecting right now. Yeah, so 15-minute candle is coming up. You know, it's up to you whether you have the patience and discipline to wait for the candle to close. But it does look like it should continue moving bullish. In a bit of a risky 20-minute wick fill. Buy, stop loss at break even. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. But I mean, do we just have some more GDP news? No. Oh, I think you mean you're in a buy. Okay. Yeah, that's up to you. Yeah, I think an aggressive buy would be the break of this high. Obviously, the previous 30-minute stop below the current 30-minute. Expecting price to continue up. Could work. But I want to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. You know, because I'm quite happy to miss the move. You know, it's only Monday. Remember, it's the first day of the month. You know, first day of the month is always going to be... you know, like we say we've been looking for GJ sells, and sometimes it can just happen straight off the bat. But if we look at the monthly candle, obviously the monthly candle's just opened up. So, I mean, you know, it can still create a top wick and then continue down. So, and the last thing I want to do is rush into taking a second trade. So I'm only gonna take a buy if I get a nice 15-minute candle close in my direction, maybe, but we'll see. Pablo is out of the trade. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for this candle to close. Oh, man. 15 minutes coming down. I would not look for sales until we break back below 135.050. You know, I want to see a resistance, something like that. But we need to see candles closing back below that area for any sell. How many have we got? We got nearly 50 people in here today. So again, welcome everybody. If you're new to the stream, yeah, so I mean, if this 30-minute candle closes back below this area, You know, we can wait for some form of resistance to form, and then maybe it's going to continue down. Maybe this was, you know, a little bit of market optimism candle with the news that was coming in. But at the same time, if this is going to fake out and it is going to do that technically, it's either going to form some support on the 30-minute time frame over here, or this 15-minute is coming down to create a bottom wick, and then it's going to close bullish. And then if it does, you know, there's a higher chance for the next candle to continue bullish. And then maybe we're going to get a retest of the 135, 350. Maybe even going to correct some of this move. And then, you know, maybe later on in the week, we're going to look for those sells that we are dying to get our hands on. And see, this music player is good, but then it just plays these one-off tunes that are just like, what is that? Yeah, so we can't take a sell because we have a key level here. We can't take a buy because candles are printing bearish. So it is still waiting involved. But we got time. It's only, well, for me it's only 10 o'clock, so we've got like another hour and a half here to just chill out, see if we can catch a second trade. If not, then just call it a day. Call it a Monday. But, you know, for those of you who feel a bit disheartened by this morning's trade, it was a tough trade. You know, it literally was a pip away from some of us securing, and you know, it really is what it is. You know, I hope people manage the risk, and if you did, then you should go, you know, walk away thinking that you did what you could, and that's it. You know, you can't be over emotional. That's the last thing you want to do.
If you did manage risk and you see price now, it shot up, you'd have lost a lot more. So that's something to be happy about.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no point. You know, this is one of the biggest mistakes I used to make, was hoping that it would go back in my direction, you know, and then I'd be mad when it came up and hit my stop loss, you know. So yeah, I would 100% agree there with Kelsey. It looks like this 15 minutes flipping back bullish. Hopefully it's not going to go. Maybe it's going to leave a wick, and then we can maybe take a second entry. But if it breaks this high and goes, then yeah, no trade for me. Yeah, it looks like it was going to do that. What do you think about this GJ trade this morning? Should I have secured there the 10 pips, or is it better to be patient to wait for planned TP? Let's take a look. Let's take a look, because I think we're going to miss this GJ push now anyway. Which I'm happy about missing. I'm not happy, but I'm okay with missing. Okay, so GJ 1 hour time frame. Anticipating the gap closure here. Okay. Rejection here. Okay. Here I got 10 pips. Too much greed and wanted to hold to TP1. Stopped at a break even. Yeah, I would have secured something at 10 pips and then left, you know, position run to 135 400, and then another position to 135 680. So when was this? Was this pre-London? No, this went pre-London. It's based off the 1 hour time frame. Oh, over here. This was over here. Okay. So. I see. I stopped you out at break even over here. Okay. Yeah, I would have secured something at 10 pips and then, you know, let the rest run. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So yeah, looks like this GJ buy position has kind of played out. Obviously I didn't take a position, but yeah, looks like it's pushing up over here. But yeah, me personally, I think as well, that's up to you a little bit. Like, I can't say, you know, you should have secured at 10 pips because not everybody wants to do that. You know, some people do like to have a strict risk to reward, and that's fine. That's completely up to you, you know. But I think if you're going to secure at 10 pips, you need to do that on a consistent basis, you know, so then you know that when you're in and out of the market. And then like me personally, I secure at 10 pips, and then I'm like, okay, well, where do I think price is going to go? And then I might leave a position to see if I can, you know, the TP hits and then a second TP or whatever. But that's completely up to you. You know, that should be part of your trading plan. But yeah, but nice idea, I suppose. So this was around pre-London, pretty good. This would have been a nice buying candle up over here, around 7:15. It's closing above this area. Clean candle. So yeah, looks like the sells are no longer valid. So it's just a waiting game.
For buys, mate, are you looking for a decent close above 135.400 or above the 135.670 level?
I think for overall buys, I'd want to see I mean, if candles are forming support above 135.350, then I would be looking for buys. Because this was a resistance, and then if we look left, we tried to form a support. So okay, let me put it to you like this. This was a resistance. We had a previous support over here to the left hand side. These candles started to break up, formed a support at this area, as you can see, you know, above this zone. And then at that point it started to drop down and fake out. So when we came back to this area, we formed that resistance here again. So anywhere above 135.350 is going to be good. But yeah, it looks like those buys played out on GJ within that range. But yeah, definitely okay with me missing that. You know, because when it makes a low, when price makes a lower low, but then it comes back to retest the resistance, it's probably some form of liquidity grab on the higher time frames. Yeah, I mean, if we look at the 1 hour, this is, yeah, it looks like crap at this point. You know, we've corrected this whole move, so it's just a case of, you know, if price is going to continue up, it will create a support above 135.350. If not, maybe it's just going to range at this point. But now, really and truly, to be honest, this comes our most recent support, this area right here, you know, and then you would see it as, okay, if we break that support, then we have clean candles coming down to this area. But just for the simplicity's sake, I'm gonna leave it as it is, but keeping that in mind, you know. Okay, see you later, folk. Have a good day. Yeah, today's been pretty hard actually. You know, the original sell that was anticipated, I think it's a shame that it didn't play out. I mean, that is just what it is. Like, this happens, this correction, this does happen, you know. So yeah, it's a shame, but like, yeah, it is what it is.
Last night I saw myself in reflections from the light. Could not find my own face. Past times I kept on going in spite of the bad times. change directions. These expectations take it all from me. No more decisions. I can't go on living a fantasy anymore. I can't go on living a fantasy. I can't go on living a fantasy anymore.
Okay, we got like 50 something people in here today. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I think at this point price is just ranging. Let's check out gold. Ooh, gold rejected this area. Gold rejected 1891. Euro JPY. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it now, and if we really think about it, I think what's kind of happened here is, price was getting ready to go, and then because we had that positive data, maybe there was that optimism, bit of push, but then it seems like at the moment it can't break that high. So when price can't break that high, there's not enough buyer liquidity to break that. So it just depends whether we're just going to range out, or we're going to start to now come down, start dropping back below. So we got about an hour here to chill, wait. We can, anybody's got any questions, any charts, we can just chill. There's no rush to take a second trade. It's only Monday. I think looking back at these sells, I probably should have secured something down at this area, but I mean, yeah, these are just all learning curves. Trading is different literally every time, and yeah. The other thing we could maybe look for, and this is just, I'm not trying to like look for a trade, but if I see something like this happen, then it could work out. But I mean, if this whole move is going to get corrected and we are going to start breaking above this level, then if this 15-minute candle closes very weak, and then I mean very weak, and the next one breaks the high, there's a chance that we could start coming up, popping into this range, probably come up to around 135, 485, and then from there we can secure something. But I mean, we'll see. We will see. That's like pretty risky, but we will see. Because I've seen this happen before. When we get a correction of a down push over here, create support, come up to this resistance. If we create a strong resistance, then that doesn't work. But if there's a very weak resistance formed at this level, there is a chance for a continuation of this bullish move, so it could come up, break the high, and just start to run. And then overall, it may, correct that gap down and then come back up to retest 135, 650. But we'll see. We've got 5 minutes left for the 15 to close. So if it does close weak, then that's a potential for a second entry. But of course, them type of entries are very aggressive. So yeah, we'll see. I've just seen this before, and I just thought that could potentially happen again. But if it doesn't, then it's not like me forcing a trade. It's not like I'm like, okay, well, I am looking for a second entry. It's like, okay, I've seen this happen. I missed this. So if this closes weak, there is a chance for a second chance on a trade. But only if this candle closes very weak. Like something like this is a weak candle. Yeah, so ideally we want this to close bearish. Like a really weak bearish candle, that's going to be pretty good. Doesn't the resistance at the left concern you? For an impulse entry, no. But if it closes yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think there's no buyers at this point now anyway. So it makes no difference. 15-minute candles coming to a close. 3 minutes. Yeah, we can't take an impulse now because it's already come up and broken its own high. It's going to be way too hard to... Stop's going to be way too big. So yeah, that's it. There's no trade now at this point for me. I wouldn't have been concerned if it closed weak, because then I'm expecting another volume push to kind of push us and then maybe reach somewhere around this area where we can secure something. So if it broke this high and came up to this area, we can secure something and then see if a position will run. But right now, yeah, I'm not inclined to take anything. Yeah, today's been pretty tough. Today has been pretty difficult. Check out Euro JPY. Euro JPY is coming back down to this same area on the 30-minute time frame. So if people do trade Euro JPY, if you're looking for buys, you'd want to see a support formed at this area again, prior to continue up to retest the high. Gold. So 15 minutes coming to a close. So it closed bullish. It closed in the range. So yeah, there's no trade at all at this point. Can you take a look? Yep. Let's take a look at this chart. Just take a look at this chart. Okay, GCAD 30 minute. How would you take a sell here? For me, it gets hard because the wick is long. How would you continue if it closes bearish? Okay, so basically, when price creates a low, you know, you want to wait for some form of resistance. So essentially, this was the low that was created. Price has done a retracement, so it's at a key level where it would need to create some resistance. So if you're trading based off the 30 minute, you would want to see a 30-minute candle close bearish in your direction to then take a sell to retest the low. If the 30 minute starts to close back above this range, that's up to you whether you want to wait for that high, the retracement and a support, or if you just want to wait for, you know, a support to be formed just above this area in general over here, because it may do a retrace kind of at this level, consolidate, form support to continue up. So that's completely up to you. But when a candle comes back above a range, I would always want to see, me personally, I'd always want to see a support formed above this area, and then I'm going to be a much more confident to take a trade to continue up, you know. But you may miss this, buy, and you just have to be willing to accept that.
I'd say be careful as well with this pair, because this is a pair that I traded for a while and it's pretty tough.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've given up on it at the moment.
Yeah, that GCAD will break your heart. More or less, what proportion of your trades are impulse entries? I would say maybe 30%, 30-40%. Majority are based off of candle closes, but there's a lot of the times with pairs like GJ, Gold, Euro JPY, they do just run sometimes without giving you those confirmations. So that's where just a little bit of experience comes into play. Yeah, I'd say maybe 30%. Yeah, so I think it's a similar sort of thing for GJ. If people are looking for buys, a support above 135, 340, 350 is going to be a lot safer for a continuation, you know. But we managed the first trade, I managed the first trade pretty well, so it's pretty good. You know, it's still good. It's still a good day in my book, because if I can take a trade on a Monday with just a small loss, you know, like a £70 loss, I know that just one win, and I'm back in profit, you know. And if I do the same thing tomorrow, and I have a difficult day, and you know, I close out early, and it's another £70 or another 3 or 4 pip loss, I know Wednesday I make one winning trade and I'm back in profit for the week. So honestly, keeping trades to a minimum, really being patient, you know, there's no rush to take a second trade. That's one of the things that I actually really realized, was it's not about making back that loss. You know, about when people say chasing losses, chasing losses is coming from the minute you take a loss, you're immediately looking for another entry somewhere else. You're immediately looking to make that loss back. I'm willing to make that loss back. The only time is when I see the confirmations, which may not even be on the same day. You know, so if I get a trade the next day, I have a fresh head, it's a fresh slate. I'm not trying to think about the loss, but what I am thinking is, if I win this trade, I've made back that small loss that I managed well yesterday. So I'm in no rush to take another trade today, you know. That's why I'm saying, you know, I want to really wait for something that makes sense, something easy. Otherwise, there's no trade for me. So it looks like GJ is continuing bullish over here. Yeah, thank you. I don't take this trade. It was just an interesting setup that I see often. Just want to hear your opinion on how you trade this. Yeah, I think GCAD is pretty tough. Like right now, I think if you're looking for sells, you would need a 30-minute at least to close in your direction over here. If we look at the 15-minute, so 15-minute candle still open. 15-minute on a GCAD is probably going to be very weak confirmation. So yeah, I would definitely wait for a resistance to form. Yeah, some Mondays are tricky, some Mondays aren't. I think today was tricky. Probably should have, you know, Morrow again should have secured something. But I suppose at the same time, I can't really think like that, because my plan is to secure at 10 pips. So if it just doesn't do that, if it can't go 10 pips and it comes back to entry, that is just really where managing risk comes into play. And that's it. You know, that really is it. Your loss was not big. Important to not take a full hit on the stop loss. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know there was people that was holding those sells. You know, there always is. I did it. I've been there. You know, there was people that were like, well, it's broken the high, but it's probably going to still continue down. You know, there's that fixation on winning, and it just doesn't work like that. You know, you have to be prepared for all circumstances. Where the hell is all my... It's just... Oh, there we go. I thought I just deleted everything. Let's look on the smaller time frames, if there was a way of... Yeah, not really. There was no real break of structure until we were closing above this area. But yeah. Even the Dow's bullish as well, actually. Dow is bullish. Gold still. Gold's been very slow today. Very slow. In fact, we've removed USD JPY now. Yeah, so for those of you who didn't know, USD JPY is off my list. I've had enough of it. Thanks for sharing advice on risk management. You and Raja stressed that point a lot. Still learning that part. Yeah, man, it's massive. Honestly, it changed the game for me. Honestly, it really did. Yeah, so looking on the 30-minute time frame on GJ, this 30-minute candle is trying to close above this area. So here's the thing, if we can get a support formed within the next hour above 135, 350, 340, then I can take a buy. Otherwise, you know, it's just, yeah, not really interested. Because you have a lot of issues over here, you know, potentially over here. So I think, you know, if it does create a support on the 30-minute, that's going to be a very good confirmation for you know, to take a buy. That's kind of the only way that I would look to take a buy. But my trading day will be done in an hour anyway, so from then I just call it a day and that's it. You know, that's another really massive thing as well, is being able to know when to call it a day. You know, you should have a routine. You need to get into a routine that's going to really help you. You know, routine without a routine in trading is like driving without a seatbelt. It's dangerous. You know, if you're trading at all different times of the day, on different days, it's not good. So you can see now the 15-minute candles are reacting to this area. So definitely would need to wait for some form of 30-minute support to form above this zone. So let's see if we've got any news here today. Okay, so maybe we did have some positive as well. So UK, European Union officials are solution. So maybe that, yeah, so what they're trying to say is they're coming to, you know, nearly conclude about this, the fishing waters. So, I mean, that's obviously gonna be a big, yeah, that's gonna be pretty big. So I think that's gonna be important actually. So looking at the 30-minute now, it's got like a minute left to close and it's closing a weak candle. So yeah, we'll see. $15 minutes is coming back in the range at this point. Yeah, so while GJ is closing back below this zone, there's no buys, there's no sells. Well, I mean, if you want to take sells, that's up to you, but Yeah, so if we look at the 30-minute now, 30-minute has closed a weak bullish candle. It's closed below this minor resistance at 135.350. So yeah, the buy bias, it gets pretty difficult. Yes, I think why the euro was bullish this morning is we had a lot of positive news, if you can see from the euro perspective. So you can see here we had the fastest growth of Spanish manufacturing, Italian manufacturing conditions improved, Germany manufacturing bounced back, French business conditions improvement. So that's pretty good. So that's clearly why the euro was bullish. But actually the 30-minute is completely faked out, so maybe that overall sales bias can play out with Euro JPY. So I think maybe more this was a bit of short-term optimism. So I suppose that's a good way of looking at, you know, how yellow folder news can impact a pair. Same with GJ right now. You know, we had some positive data on the PMI. So you know, there's that potential that's this kind of move here. But then, you know, we can see with Euro JPY, we had that optimism, we had that positive news push Euro up, and then now it's starting to get corrected. And if we go to the 15-minute, yeah, so probably like a resistance over here would be good for Euro JPY to continue down. I think right over here is going to be a good first target, 121.840. Yeah, so if you look at the euro daily candle, it may be coming to, you know, start to come down. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour maybe just doing a retest, deep liquidity retest, because it closed above this resistance. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, there is a chance that we can stay above. See, if we look at the 1 hour time frame, the price action on the 1 hour is so clean. You know, it's so clean. We have a support formed above this zone. But if you look on the 30-minute, the 30-minute did close below. So for price to continue down, you would need this current 30-minute candle to close below this area, 121.950. You know, you need this candle to respect this area. So whether that would be you want to wait for some resistance to form here, I think that's going to be much better, you know. Or if this 15-minute closes below but closes like a weak bullish and the next one breaks the low, you know, that could be a good also idea for price to continue down. But the range isn't so big. But remember, Euro JPY ranges are just smaller in general anyway than compared to like GJ and other pairs. So 15-minute candles coming down. You know, I think if there's some resistance formed, it can come back to 135, 120. But we'll see.
From the looks of that, mate, we've still closed underneath that price. So I guess you could argue, yes, the wick's gone up, but if we can close bearish here, it's still a lower high, hey?
Yeah.
If you get a decent bearish close.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just about the lower high. I suppose it's the fact that it failed to break this high. You know, it failed to break the high, which means that, you know, price can only go up or down. So if it fails to break a high point, you know, that may mean it wants to retest the low point. But I don't know, I'd need to see something pretty strong in this area. Yeah, I think like a strong resistance on like the 30-minute could work. Could work out. Like a strong bearish candle, and then for the next one to continue down. Do you look for trades after the overlap when you didn't trade during the live stream? Sometimes, but but it's rarely. I've tried to keep it now, like, you know, 8 a.m. and then by 11:30 I'm done. So yeah, only really if I'm around at the chart or if I'm around on my computer afterwards. But yeah, I try not to. So this 30-minute candle is coming down. Let's look at 15 minutes. Yeah, so I think if the 30-minute closes bearish, could give sells a second chance to continue down. But we'll see. I think this candle needs to close a fairly strong 30-minute. Euro JPY also looking like it wants to continue down. Yeah, so looking at the 15-minute. 15 minutes coming to like a weak close. So you need to wait for this candle to close. I think the other thing about giving this trade a second entry is, you know, waiting for this 30-minute candle to close will give us the opportunity to wait for the next 15-minute candle to close. And why I say that is because obviously we always like to see a point where we can reduce the risk. So if I'm going to take a second trade, I don't want a point where, you know, the whole stop loss could get hit. So if I wait for the 30-minute, that's going to be waiting for the next 15-minute candle as well. and then at that point we have a better position to, you know, look to reduce the risk. So if we look at the 15-minute candle is trying to close strong bearish. So obviously 15-minute is a weak confirmation on its own against the trend. Current trend is bullish because of these 30-minute candles respecting the lows of the previous candle. So I'm definitely going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. Now if we miss the sell, we miss the sell. I really find as well, you know, when you're taking a second trade, you almost want to be as patient as you possibly can be, you know. You really don't want to rush into taking an opposite trade or things like that, you know. So yeah, I'm going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. Okay, so if we look at the 15-minute candle is closing bearish. So still waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. GJ hourly downward 24 candle range channel, not easy now. Yeah, I was just looking at the 1 hour and I was thinking, you know, it's pretty difficult to say what's gonna happen. Yeah, I think you're gonna need to we need to wait for this 30-minute candle to close, Because then, how long has this hourly got? See, even the hour... Okay, so the hour time frame's got like 15 minutes left. The 30 minutes got like 15 minutes left. So they would both need to close pretty strong bearish for price to continue down, you know. Because I bet if we look at it now... Yeah, so this 15-minute candle's coming up. So yeah, definitely worth waiting for the 30-minute candle to close.
I'm losing my mind.
But if this candle closes a weak bearish, then, you know, there is the chance that the next candle, you know, the next 30 minutes going to break this high and continue pushing up. That's only if it closes a weak bearish. You know, if the 30-minute closes very weak, then that's very potential. So we've got like 12 minutes left here for a potential second entry. But let's say the 30-minute closes bearish, but the 15-minute closes bullish, something like this. Then I'd probably only take it once we break the low of the 15-minute. You know, something like that. But we'll see. All situational. So let's just wait for this 30-minute candle to close, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, it does sound a little bit like Super Mario. Yeah, she looks like Super Mario. Okay, so let's look at the 15-minute. 15 minutes still open. Let's check out Euro JPY, Euro JPY. 15-minute candle closed bearish. Also created a liquidity wick. So the overall 30 minutes still open. So of course, you know, if people are in sells, that's up to them. But this 15-minute candle, it should continue down. I think it's going to be good to continue down. Gold is still pushing up over here. So looking on the 15 minute candle's got 8 minutes left to close. Is closing weak bullish. 5 minutes trying to create some resistance. So yeah, I want to see a healthy bearish candle for me to want to take a sell. Also, I wanted to see how the 15-minute closes first. Also, yeah, we need to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. Yeah, so as you can see, the 30-minute candle is retracing. It is closing pretty weak. So, yeah, no sells yet. Looking at Euro JPY, also coming back above this area now. So it's pretty unfortunate. So yeah, 30-minute candles closing very weak bearish. So maybe as the next candle's coming up to break the high, could work out. Let's go to 15-minute. Potentially. Maybe this candle's even gonna flip bullish. So yeah, 30 minutes got Couple minutes left here to close. Full lockdown in the UK now. Here in Spain on the weekends by now. I'm not sure what you mean by the Spain bit, but yes, UK is in a full lockdown for the month of November. Well, it starts on Thursday, but yeah, same, yeah. Oh, you only have a lockdown on the weekend? Really? I thought Spain was, I thought Madrid was in a lockdown. Oh, I see, I see. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, so we've got like a minute left for this candle to close. I don't think, if it closes as it is, yeah, there's no sells, you know. It respected the low of the previous candle. It's closed very weak. If you look on the 15 minutes trying to create a support. 15 minute had no bottom wick. So if anything, you know, I'll be more inclined to take a buy if we break the high, really, for price to continue up, with pre-New York volume coming into play now as well. So hopefully this candle can close a very weak bearish, and then if the next one does break the high, you know, we can potentially have around a 13 pip stop, 14 pip stop, expecting price to continue up. We'll see. 4 hour. Yeah, see, the previous 4 hour did create a support, did do a liquidity grab. So I think, yeah, I don't know. Let's wait and see, because this kind of still got like 30 seconds left to close. I think if I was going to take a sell, I'd want to see maybe another bearish 15 minutes. Because it is starting to come back down. Let's wait and see how it closes, and then we can assess from there. Okay, so looking at the 30-minute time frame, the 30-minute candle did close bearish, but it didn't close a very strong bearish. It did engulf the previous candle, but I mean, it's not a hugely strong confirmation. So let's look at the 15-minute time frame. I mean, I think the only way a sell could work is if a resistance is formed here, like a minor resistance, another 15-minute candle, because then there is a much higher chance for the next one to continue down. But I mean, if the next candle does come up and break the high, there's a higher chance for that candle, you know, to actually go bullish. Maybe it's going to come up and fill this gap, come and reach this area here. Let's see how the 1 hour time frame closed. 1 hour closed like a doji. So there is the potential that it could continue down. I mean, I mean, doji actually means nothing really. You know, it means neither buyers nor sellers kind of won. So it's not a great confirmation for a sell. It's also not a good confirmation. It actually says better confirmation for a buy, if I'm honest, because I mean, if you think about it, we was already previously bullish, and then this just may be like that pullback for a continuation. And you know, this candle closing weak, the next 1 hour might just come up and start pushing up. But I mean, we'll see. I don't want to sell. No, I don't want to sell down over here. I think I'll take a sell if this the first 15 minute candle closes bearish. I mean, ideally below this area, because I know it's kind of the same thing, breaking the low, etc. But I mean, at the same time, this candle did not close a weak bullish, you know, so I don't think an impulse sell over here is going to be a good idea. Don't feel comfortable right now how it's looking for a break and close above daily highs for buys. Yeah, if that's what you're looking for, then that's pretty good. You know, if you're willing to say what you want to see and you're willing to wait for it and not get FOMO, then man, you're already winning. Yeah, so I didn't like the sell because the 15-minute candle closed too strong of a bullish candle. For me, if it closed weak, I'd be more confident. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to see if this 15-minute candle can close bearish. But I will not be taking an impulse sell over here. I don't like selling over here. Yeah, I'm gonna need to see this 15-minute candle close in my direction. Yes, if this 30-minute does break the high, there is a much higher chance for price to continue bullish. You know, considering the previous 30-minute candle closed weak. But obviously it'll be a riskier buy entry, you know. So we will see. For me, I need to learn to wait more. Impulse sell there at setup will work. I think yeah. I mean, impulse trades, you know, you've got to see them happen. You know, you've got to see them happen a few times before you execute on it. 100%. But then again, you know, so I think what happens here now is really, really key. You know, if this 15-minute candle can close bearish, then there's a much higher chance for price to continue down. You know, but if the 30-minute comes up and breaks the high, there's a much higher chance for price to continue bullish.
If price can break the low on the 15 and 30, I think I might go in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what kind of happens here. This is really key for whether, you know, price is going to continue up or whether, you know, price is going to continue down. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye. Just stick to the 30-minute for the minute. That's strange. I just got a notification about UK news, but it's not coming up in Forex Factory. I wonder. So we should start to see some more volume coming into the market soon. So this is either going to be that point. This is why I say we're at a point where, you know, it's either going to push price up or down, because obviously we're at a point where more volume is coming in. We do have a resistance formed, but at the same time, if we break this high, you know, there's a much higher chance price can continue bullish, because we do have a support formed on the 15-minute time frame. So again, if we can form resistance here, then you know, there's a chance once we start to break below this minor support for price to continue down. And then at the same time, we're looking at the overall 30-minute. If it can break this high, you know, there's a higher chance price can continue bullish. So I mean, yeah, this is pretty crucial what occurs. But you see, if this 15-minute candle closed very weak, then, you know, there's no sell, because this current 30-minute can just still continue bullish. So just a reminder, guys, stream will probably be ending at the end of this 30-minute candle. So even if I do take a trade after that, it, you know, it is what it is at that point. You guys I'll be taking a sell, whatever position, and then have to let you know how it went after the stream. Alright, 2 secs. Okay, so the 15-minute candle is coming down. It's got like 3 minutes left to close. So looks like it's coming down to break this low on the 15-minute, but I'm not inclined to take a sell. I don't really like it, because we're still in this, we've been creating these supports, so until we kind of break this first support, there's no sells yet. I'm just, yeah, I think I need to be a little bit more skeptical of the sells. Okay, so look at the 15-minute. 30 seconds left for the 15-minute candle to close. Okay, see you later, Pablo. Thanks for coming down. I'm just not liking it because of this minor support. You know, it is looking good to continue down. I'm just really not liking this minor support. I have a feeling it's just going to cause some issue. Yeah, I think I may sit this one out. So the 15-minute candle did close bearish, which means there is a much higher chance for the overall 30-minute to continue moving down. So, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty skeptical at this point. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be willing to miss these sells. I have to say, I'm not so confident in the sell right now. So looks like it's broken that low, broken the low on the 30-minute time frame. So I mean, there is a high chance it should continue down to 135.050, but I'm gonna remain skeptical. Look on the 5-minute. Yeah, I mean it can. It's created that lower high, but we're at support. But I'm not gonna look at the 5-minute.
like yesterday. It feels so far away. Now you're gone out of my life. You're gone without a fight. Simple things take more heart to lay it down. Where would I start? These crazy days we ran the world. Sweeter moments, time stood still. It always seems impossible. In the darkness of my mind, together we won't stop.
Yeah, any buys, any sell buys, the stop's going to be too big at this point. Sells don't really make sense because of this minor support. So I mean, I think at this point price is just ranging. Yeah, I think we're gonna wait a couple more minutes here and then I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna call it a session with a small loss. So yeah, I'm gonna be back in a second, guys. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Chasing yesterday. It never hurts to turn your back on the things that you got wrong. It always hurts looking back. Find lyrics to a song. The weakest side takes force of mind. You need to help me win this fight. These crazy days we ran the world. Sweeter moments you were hurt. It always seems impossible. In the darkness of my mind, together we're unstoppable. Forever lighting my skies, chasing past and chasing you. Lost along the way, running on every cloud you gave. I'm chasing yesterday. Running on every cloud you gave. I'm chasing yesterday. Oh. I'm chasing yesterday.
I could swear it's been 700 degrees in here since you came in. I could swear that this room has been running out of air, and now it's starting to spin. You make me feel kinda bad, kinda good, kinda everything, yet it doesn't feel like it should. You make me feel kinda wrong, kinda right, kinda anything, and I would change it if I could. good. Swear that my stomach just sunk a meter. I'll be dead if I take any more. You make me feel kinda bad, kinda good, kinda everything, yet it doesn't feel like it should. You make me feel kinda wrong, kinda right, kinda anything, and I would change it if I could.
Okay. So looking at GJ, yeah, it looks like it's reacting to this support. So yeah, I don't think there's no sells. There's no buys really for me because stop's gonna be too big for an impulse. But at the same time, if this 30-minute does close above this resistance, you know, then there's a chance. But this stream's gonna be, yeah, stream's gonna be done in about 5 minutes over here. So I think it's time to start wrapping up. So we took I had a sell down over here on this candle. Was expecting the next 15-minute candle, you know, to continue down. Pushed around 9 pips before retracing. So it is what it is at that point, but we managed the risk. As you know, the candle came up and broke this high, exited the full position. So yeah, about 3 pip loss with spread. So if you look at that, right, the entry was taken down over here. So I've got spread and things like that. And as this candle broke the high, I knew to get out of that trade, you know, because it was a potential reversal. So, and then if you look, if I didn't, you know, would have got stopped out, sat in drawdown after being in profit. So, you know, that's a really, really big thing. So actually, I'm pleased the way the trade was managed. So that's really important. And that's pretty good. So, yeah. So yeah, thanks guys and girls for coming on to the stream. Make sure you drop a like. I know it wasn't a winning day here today, but we can't win them all, you know. But what we did put into practice was good risk management, and that is really, really key. So yeah, it is looking like a weak 15-minute. So, you know, there is a potential that if this 30-minute candle closes bearish, the 15-minute candle is closing a weak bullish. And then, you know, you start to see price come down, breaking this low. Maybe, you know, those of you looking for that second trade. But for me right now, I'm going to call it a day. unless something happens within like the next 20 minutes while I'm just packing up. Then yeah, I'm not going to be taking a second trade. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming down to the stream. Thanks guys on the Zoom call. So yeah, so I'll see you.
See you later, guys.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very
Have a
much,
good
boys.
day.
Yeah, no worries.
See you
Will,
later,
do
bro.
you want to hang on for 5
If you-
minutes?
If you got time, mate, but if you're in a rush, don't worry. Eh?
Yeah, no, of course. We'll take a look.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so thanks everybody in the YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 GMT. And yeah, hope you have a good day. And no overtrading. No overtrading.